Welcome to this Bridgeworks Support video in which you will learn how to establish a one-way connection from an origin node to a destination node, both deployed in ESXi. This step must be performed to allow accelerated data transfer between the nodes over different protocols, including iSCSI and FTP. If you plan to use IPsec encryption, it's recommended to enable it before establishing the connection. For assistance with this, consult the IPsec video linked in the video description. This video will cover determining which IP addresses to use when connecting the two nodes, confirming your node's WAN port mappings, establishing the WANrockIT connection between the two nodes, and finally, testing your connection with a learn operation. First, you need to know what IP addresses to use to make the connection. If you're connecting over a VPN link, or otherwise using a single private network for both nodes, the internal addresses of the WAN ports on each node can be used. If you're connecting the nodes over the internet directly, public IP addresses should be used. For a public connection without IPsec, TCP port 16665 will need to be forwarded to the internal address of each node's WAN port. To find the internal addresses of the WAN ports on a node, connect to its ESXi host with the VMware vSphere client and right-click on the node within the inventory. From the submenu, select Open Console and a Node Management Console will be displayed. This screen will display the IP addresses of all attached network interfaces. Alternatively, you can use the vSphere web client to determine the node's IP address. The next step is to confirm that the interfaces on which you wish to connect are designated as WAN ports. By default, this is port 2, but this can be changed to another port of your choosing or enabled on multiple ports. Navigate to your origin node's web interface and log in with the username admin and your password. Next, go to the port mappings page by clicking on the corresponding icon. If the WAN protocol has not been mapped to the port from which you wish to connect, you'll need to add the WAN mapping to the port. Any changes made to port mappings require a reboot to take effect. You should also do this for your destination node by navigating to its web interface and following these steps. The next step is to allow the origin node to make a connection by adding it to the remote node access control list. Navigate to the destination node's home screen, then go to the node management page. Under Remote Node Access Control, add the origin node's IP address. Now return to the origin node's web interface. Navigate to the home screen, and then to Node Management. Now click Add Node to bring up a dialog box. Here, enter the destination node's IP address. The Network Interface drop-down allows you to change which interface you wish to connect from, if you have the WAN protocol assigned to more than one interface. All that's left is to click Add, and the node will negotiate a connection. Notice the destination node's IP address is automatically added to the origin node's access control list once the connection is established, so you don't need to manually add it. If you need to limit the bandwidth between the two nodes, this can be done from the Path Configuration dialog. Click Configure Node. Select the checkbox in the bandwidth limit column and type the maximum transfer rate this connection should reach in megabytes per second. If either node has multiple WAN ports, maximum rates can be set for each of the paths that you wish to limit data transfer on between the nodes. Click Apply when finished and close the dialog. You can now test the WANrockIT link by performing a learn between the two nodes. Click Learn. The Learn window will appear. During a learn, zero data is sent between the two connected nodes, whilst the AI engine attempts to accelerate data transfer. The learn will stop by itself after a short time, but it can be stopped at any time by clicking Stop Learn on the node management page. Now you can utilize this WANrockIT connection to accelerate different types of traffic between the two nodes, depending on the protocols currently mapped to them.